Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Medicine Buddha. We're here because we got to be free. We got to learn how to be free. And that's what we do on Monday night. We've been meeting here on Zoom for 4 years, practicing Medicine Buddha. Welcome if you're here for the first time. Drop your name in the chat so we can welcome you. Eric's on retreat, so I'm just appearing in the role of Eric to quickly tell you to look at the website because a lot of things are going on. I'm going to drop some parts of the website in the chat. I just didn't realize until today that under resources, you can get the playlist for the new saints. It's a wonderful playlist. So anyway, check out the chat. Make yourself at home. Welcome to Buddha.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. And thank you to everyone for joining us today. So good to see many of you here. We did open the practice with Denise Williams, because we got to be free, right? You can't, we have to remember, to remember joy and struggle. You have to remember that. And joy is something becomes a lifeline for us. But in any case, we have Karen the link for the prayer requests? We'll go ahead and put that.
I'll put that in.
Yeah, we'll put that in so you can go ahead and start adding prayers to that. And then, of course, that's self-explanatory for those of you who are new, and particularly welcome to those of you who are new to Medicine Buddha as well. And yeah, so let's do a check-in. How are you doing? What's going on? What's up? You can share in the chat. You can come on and unmute yourself or raise your hand to be unmuted. And just let me know how you're feeling, what's going on. It's happening. Excited about Queen Bey's new album. I am too. She is gonna gag the children. I knew she was gonna do a country album. I knew before I even heard anything about it. Having a hard time inside, feeling icky and itchy. Recovering from surgery, having a hard time. Lots of rage. My husband walked out after 20 plus years. The day I'm feeling rage. Yeah. Was also in love, a rough few days. Been feeling a lot of collective energy in the head, trying to find the energy to move my body and cultivate loving resources. Tired and overwhelmed. Just had a baby. Congratulations, feeling all the feels. Wonderful. Someone sitting, Ocean sitting there, nurse practitioner exam. Good luck. We'll put some prayer requests in for that. You should be studying instead of doing Medicine Buddha. That's what I would be doing. I guess medicine Buddha does relate to nurse practitioning, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's so much happening. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, we do practice to get free, right? Right, to get free. And when we talk about getting free, really what we're talking about is really beginning to understand the nature of everything, the essence of everything. It's getting free from the misunderstanding that we have about the phenomenal world, about ourselves, about others, and so forth, right? Um, there's a lot to there's a lot to learn how to cut through, and this whole freedom, particularly within the framework of Buddhism, is actually really complex. It's complicated, it's complex. I do what I can to like describe it, and talk about it in my work, but it's just really like it's so nuanced, right? And you can't really understand the nuance if you don't have a practice, right, to experience the nuance, because this is really all about experiencing, right? Experiencing beyond words, beyond language. These experiences lie beyond articulation. It just is. That's what we're trying to get to. Everything that's happening to us, from the breakups and the obstacles and the sickness and the deaths, right? And the wars and the genocides and the politics, everything that's happening right now. Um, there's an essence to all of this, and that essence is like already completely liberated, right? Everything arises from this emptiness, right? But if you don't have a practice, or if you're not attempting a practice, this doesn't really make sense. you know, these are just words, words that you can get off on, right? And bypass, But this isn't about bypassing, right? Because the trick here is that, like, yes, like everything arises from this emptiness, but you can't get to the emptiness unless you go through the thing itself. Like you have to turn back and go through the breakup and go through the grieving and the fear and the terror and the trauma. Like you have to enter into the door of these experiences, right? Like you have to confront it in a way. And then the closer you get to it, the closer as you get closer to it, more and more you begin to understand, you begin to experience exactly what this is, what this thing that you're running away from, the thing that's broken your heart, you begin to understand what it is. And not only that, you begin to understand that every single, I would say, being, at least in this world system, every human, right, experiences the same thing, right? You're not the only one in the world who's struggling, right? Even the people who don't look like they're struggling are struggling. Right? Um, Struggle is what is this confirmation that like somehow we're engaging somehow, you know, you know. And this is all part of the healing process, as well. Um, Everyone's going through this, right? And not only is our practice trying to get into the essence of this, it's also learning how to hold this. It's like how to be in this suffering and not get swallowed by it and not continue to self-identify with it, you know? That these are experiences that are happening, but the suffering isn't inherently who I am and what I am, right? The heartbreak, you're not the heartbreak, it's just an experience that's happening right now. That's important. That's how we begin freedom work, right? It's just like we have to stop identifying with the things that don't allow us to be free. Right? And I'm talking about, in terms of freedom, I'm talking about more than just being happy, right, or joyful, right? I'm talking about when we realize the nature of things, when we understand the dream as the dream, you know, when we begin to understand what death really is, when we begin to understand that like we're more than the body or we're more than this reality, right? That there's much more happening, that we're much more expansive and awakened beings than we maybe believe ourselves to be in this moment, right? And it's a lot, you know, it's a lot. And this is why we practice like this. This is why we call in beings to help us and resources, right? We need support to do this emotional labor, or this like metabolizing of suffering itself, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's much else to say necessarily, because many of you have heard me say this over and over and over again, right? But as we begin to enter into practice, right, I wonder if you can offer permission to the practice to hold you. Let the practice hold you right now. In the depth of this exhaustion and fear and worry and pain and confusion, can you let the practice hold you? And not only that, can you let the practice hold every being right now that's suffering? Can you let the practice hold the beings right now who, maybe this is their last few moments on this planet, right? In this body, right? Can you let the practice hold the beings who are continuously being born into this world? Can you let the practice hold the land? Can you let the practice hold all the trauma? Right? Because this is how we like let go of just like pushing things away and letting and just trying to bypass everything. We have to come back into relationship with everything. And you can't do that without practice. You can't do that without, a procedure, a process. Freedom and healing isn't this random thing that just happens, right? Freedom just doesn't happen. Like freedom comes when you work for it and you fight for it and you struggle for it and you cry through it and you know, freedom is more than something that we want, right? Like everyone wants to be free in certain ways, but like how many people are working to actually get free for themselves or for the communities that they're a part of, you know? And collectively, how many are we collectively working together to get free? Right? And this basic aspiration to get free, right? Again, not to when I say, again, freedom isn't bypassing, freedom isn't covering up, but freedom is learning how to be in relationship with suffering, but not allowing that relationship to define who you are. Like we have to start remembering that we're much more than the pain and the trauma and the violence. Like you have to start seeing through that, or there's no hope, right? This is why we can't self-identify with these things, because if you are what you say you are, then how can you be different? You know, but where's the evolution at? You know, we're just trying to get back home, right? We've been home, but we got lost. We left, we got lost. Now we're trying to get back. And we know how to get back, right? We have to be led back, and that means we go back through everything, right? That we've kind of pushed to the side. Right? And this aspiration, this reflection, or whatever we call it, this is where our practice has to emerge from, right? To get free, to return back to who we are, to remember that we're already free. Like, can we start with that? We've shared so much of our own, kind of struggles right now. But as we reflect on what we're struggling with, can we also reflect at the same time that we are not the suffering that we're struggling with either? That this is an experience that we're trying to develop discernment into and around, right? To even acknowledge that we're lost, but at the same time acknowledge that there is a way to get back home if we want to, and if we're willing to do the work. But are you willing to do the work to get back home? Which is the next question. You just can't keep letting the suffering stop you from liberation work. Oh, it's too hard. It's always too hard. Right? It will always be too hard. That's not an excuse, right? It's hard for all of us, you know. Now, I'm not gonna give you all of this like contradictory stuff about how there's no struggle to begin with, because I just don't actually want to get into all of that right now. It's not Matrix night tonight, so I'm not gonna start that. Hmm. I don't know, it's a part of this as you, and this is for the young practitioners here. I don't know what young means. I just want to say you're new in your practice, you know. I think as a young practitioner, um, as we deepen our practice, as we grow older in our practice, um, like there are these, I would say, so much of the work is acknowledging that part of this liberation struggle is learning how to be in relationship with contradictions, contradictions that don't make sense, you know, but to remember that none of this makes sense, right? I know this is a little out of, I mean, here we go. It keeps getting out of focus. Like none of this, we're not trying to make sense of the carceral state or samsara, right? Um, that's it's impossible to make sense of this. Why is this happening? Let's not even get into that. You know, you're not trying to work this out. You're just trying to to disrupt all this reactivity that drives the contradiction and the tension that we get wrapped up in. you know. Form and emptiness, how is that working? Well, we're not trying to work it out. We're just trying to experience it, you know, right? And that experience, the clarity awakens, right? And compassion awakens, right? Because you let go of the logic and just start caring. You just say, "Oh, this is suffering. This is suffering for everyone. Let's get out of this." You don't have to understand like how this is possible, the science, I would say, of the matrix, right? You just need to know that like this isn't your primary experience. This is actually a secondary experience. Like all this phenomena, everything, this is secondary. Our primary experience is enlightenment, which is spaciousness, which is emptiness, right? Bliss, right? Suffering is the secondary experience. So, however that helps you, I hope it helps you to tend to things. But let's put something into practice, and see where we get to, right? Um, yeah, I'm gonna pick up with this kind of the central channel breath, the Uma breath that we've been working on as well, because I find that to be very settling for me, at least. So we'll just continue working with that and getting into practice, and it really beginning to evoke again the consciousness, the spirit of Medicine Buddha, right? And allowing the consciousness of Medicine Buddha to awaken for you in what way seems appropriate for you in this moment. And I do want it to be gentle. Like when you're summoning, evoking the deity, it should be a gentle experience. It should be like the sun, the dawning of the sun, the way that, you know, as the sun rises in the morning, how gentle it can be. That kind of gentleness, the slow, gradual awakening of the light of the Buddha, right? And how it slowly begins to warm, the night, right? especially when the night was cold and when the sun starts to rise, some of that coldness begins to dissipate. You begin to feel the warmth of the awakening Buddha, in this case, Medicine Buddha. That radiance of Medicine Buddha. This is what we're going to do. We're gonna do the radiance of medicine. I just created a practice, which, by the way, every session I create a practice in the moment. So this isn't. I don't think about this shit beforehand. I don't have time. I have other things going on. The awakening, the rising of the Buddha, and think about. And again, you take the basis of these practices and then apply them to things that are important for you. Like when we talk about, you know, some of the struggles our communities are moving through, how can you imagine this practice helping people get free, get liberated in these situations? You know, and I think all of you at least have a little bit of belief that this practice helps other people. You know, if it helps you, it's helping other people. And just shifting our attention, directing this energy to others actually is doing something. But when we do it together like this, it's really powerful. This is what I believe. Some of you may believe this too, right? So let's see what we can do. Okay. So again, allow your body to get settled, right? Come into a position that feels appropriate for you as we start practice. Reflecting on our aspirations, right? That we're practicing to experience freedom, healing for ourselves and for our communities, our collective, our world, for all beings. When you're ready, again, shifting your attention down to the seats, noticing the seat rising to hold you. Allow yourself to really settle in the seat right now. Touching now down into the earth, so shifting your attention to touch into the land, the earth under you, and recognizing the land, acknowledging the land that you're living and practicing on. And acknowledging how the land is holding all of us, that on this land, this earth that's holding us, so much is happening in this moment. And can we open to that, to this reality? And so if we're all being held by the earth, then we're all connected as well. All right, so when you're ready, again, shifting your attention to the tailbone, beginning to inhale in and out of the tailbone to begin with. We do this to start getting the breath very low to the body, close to the seat, to the earth. And so when you're ready, beginning to inhale the breath up the spine to the top of the head. And then as we exhale, exhaling down the spine, back to the tailbone. Just allowing the breath to rise and fall up the spine. And I wonder if you can just kind of settle into that kind of breath and the cycle and movement. And you can deepen the breath. You can slow the breath down as you move up and down as well. Just a few more breaths before we continue deeper into the practice. So allowing the breath come back to a natural breath. And then we slowly shift our attention into our minds. And we're just imagining just darkness right now. As we're imagining this, we'll turn our attention to the first mantra for our practice, la sange kino soha, which we'll chant 3 times, beginning with and ending with Again, this is to begin to awaken, call in the consciousness of Medicine Buddha. So we'll begin with inhaling. Om. La sange kino so la sange kino so la sange kino so Om. And so within the darkness of your mind, the image or the expression of Medicine Buddha slowly begins to awaken. And we can imagine the traditional image of Medicine Buddha or representation of Medicine Buddha that feels appropriate for us in this moment. But in any case, Medicine Buddha begins to slowly take form. And as they begin to take form, this brilliant white light begins to awaken around Medicine Buddha, actually emanating from Medicine Buddha. Again, just like the sun rising in the sky, Medicine Buddha rises and awakens, emanating this brilliant white but soft, healing light. And this light completely fills up the, the boundlessness of your mind. And not only is your mind filled with this light, your body begins to be filled with this light. And just sitting for a moment, right? And just experiencing this. Just letting this light and radiating from Medicine Buddha permeate everything. And so as we begin to transition into the main mantra, just continuing to sit and experience the radiance of Medicine Buddha in this form, in this way. We'll begin. 오, 제안다운 백은세, 백은세, 마백은세, 프랑스 수문가티스 오하. 제안다운 백은세, 백은세, 마백은세, 프랑스 수문가티스 오하. 대한다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라서 수무가세소와 대한다운 백은세 백은세 아백은세 라서 수무가세소와 대한다운 백은세 백은세 soa 내 아름다운 백은새 마백은새 란스 수문 같아 소아 내 아름다운 백은새 마백은새 란스 수문 같아 소아 내 아름다운 백은새 란스 수문 같아 소아 내 아름다운 백은새 마백은새 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 란스 수문 같아 소아 내 아름다운 백은새 turning attention to our prayer requests. And again, calling into this space to receive our prayer requests, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the Dharma protectors, all beings of light, all the elders and spirit of the elements, our benevolent ancestors, all angels and deities and so forth connected to us. We call all beings who are here to help get us free, to assist in our liberation, to gather, to offer these prayer requests to, and to work on our behalf to bring about the fruition of these requests. We offer prayers of gratitude for the many kind friends and family that are extending kindness to me during this very surprising and difficult time. Offering prayers of care, rest, and resistance for my comrade who has organized space for so many others the past decade to rest for resistance towards collective liberation. Prayers for their new family addition, being born next week, and for them and their partner to transition into parenthood and what's next in their lives with grace, stability, and abundance. Offering prayers of gratitude for my daughter and her true heart and bright mind. May she have all she needs to be fulfilled, alive, and connected to community, to enjoy safety and dignity and belonging throughout life. Offering prayers for the 67 lives that were taken in Rafah last night, as well as the hundreds wounded, for their loved ones. May their loved ones know peace. May humanitarian aid reach those in need, and may the famine and other violent tortures come to an end. Praying for all Palestinian families facing displacement to know peace, comfort, and stability. May all AFAB women and femmes in Palestine, Libya, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Ukraine be protected. May they know dignity, compassion. May they know solidarity and love. May our prayers for resources reach them. May they be spared the brutality of patriarchal violence. We pray that we may see the end of millionaire and billionaire status. May the hoarding of wealth be abolished. May the poverty line be eradicated. May we all be resourced and have what we need to have to live good lives. Offering prayers that Carla may find a mentor with strong ethics and a progressive outlook. May she find the guidance, education, and resources she needs in order to serve the community she loves. May she have clarity and focus going forward. Offering prayers for Francesca that she realizes her heart's desire and find her bliss. May she recognize distractions for what they are and be in loving acceptance of the root of her self-doubt. Offering prayers for Rafah and Gaza, prayers that my symptoms be eased, prayers for relief from chronic anxiety, offering prayers that my partner finds a job very soon, offering healing prayers for Ida B. and her family, and for Rachel L., and for family who buried their dad this afternoon, offering prayers to find confidence in myself, offering prayers that a new relationship foster growth, love, and connection, offering prayers for my best friend who recently found out she is pregnant with her second child, offering prayers that my children may feel loved and appreciated, offering prayers for my health as I continue learning about my chronic illness, offering prayers for peace and purpose for myself and all those who need them, offering prayers for my phone addiction. May I find peace and fulfillment and delayed gratification and peace in the present moments. Offering prayers for Mr. and Mrs. G who are dealing with some difficult times. Mr. G is in the hospital and they need all the positive energy they can get. Offering prayers to find a path through the mental health difficulties I am facing and to find my true purpose in this world. Offering prayers for all within tonight's Sangha, as well as all the Sanghas throughout the realms. May we all gain access to the strength we need to navigate every moment, every experience. May we all find ease and joy to help us hold all the struggle. Offering prayers for my father-in-law as he begins radiation, and for my partner who is home to support him. Offering prayers for continuing to get through year 4 of having no income and job searching, needing prayers of hope, luck, support, and affirmations to be hired in a remote job that I'm currently interviewing at that combines my professional and social justice career. Also prayers for gratitude for surviving and doing what I can to get here. Offering prayers for myself, my continuing to know that I am resourced and find work that aligns to career dharma that allows me to shine light into the world. Offering prayers that the financial negotiations and Wednesday's meetings to go smoothly, that my daughter's life and mine are not saddled with undue hardship. Offering prayers of gratitude for all of our teachers, invisible ones, and our sanghas. Offering prayers for collective and intergenerational trauma healing for the world, especially those crying and raging and suffering in the Middle East. Offering prayers for my beloved wife, who is finding her way through acute anxiety. Prayers for my beloved children who are finding their way through anxiety and depression. Offering prayers for my beloved brother who suffers from depression and PTSD, and for his wife who is facing the end of her lifetime. Offering prayers for the mother of my dear friend. Her mom is struggling to recover from a stroke. Offering prayers for the father of another friend as he faces the end of his lifetime after suffering a stroke, then a heart attack. Offering prayers for me to practice and have the faith and confidence needed to consume the work challenge I'm facing versus letting it consume me. May I find and uphold the heart of my matter with integrity and hold boundaries appropriately. May I grieve the previous harms I've experienced in this setting so this current situation can be handled with clarity and kindness. Offering prayers as I deal with new and mysterious symptoms. May I stay grounded, find ease for my symptoms and anxiety, and may the doctors hear me as I seek support. Offering prayers for all whom I've hurt and harmed, and for all who have hurt and harmed me. May we all be released. Offering prayers for myself. May I remember to eat, be nourished and fed. May I be whole. May I find the path or the shift in path that is right for me. May what is for me find me. May I know discernment. And may I remember always and always. Offering prayers for my father as he awaits news about his upcoming heart surgery. May he experience an unfolding of trust and ease in the midst of worry. Offering prayers for S, C, and P. May their anger, exhaustion, and suffering be relieved. Offering prayers to keep my heart open to my children as they grow older and we experience more mature conflicts for the first time. Prayers for this dear one and I to remain loving with one another as our relationship evolves. May I accept responsibility for my part, prioritizing awakening care. Offering prayers for my partner who struggles silently and within themselves. May they thrive outwards and have radical peace inwards and open into space that allows them and others to thrive and be supported in ways of reciprocity and respect, especially from their family members. Offering prayers that can feel more than my broken body. Prayers that some tests come back okay. Offering prayers for my 100-year-old grandma who just had a stroke. May she have as much ease as possible. Offering prayers for all ancestral lands and the indigenous peoples of those lands. May they be at peace and may the violence against them stop. Offering prayers for myself that I receive the support I need, that I be healed as quickly as possible. Offering prayers for all of us to be free. Prayers for the world to surprise me. Offering prayers for dear Helen, who passed away suddenly, Ukrainian survivor of World War II, who was a good woman and mom. May she find her way home now. Offering prayers for less pain and general discomfort in this ongoing knee surgery recovery process. Prayers that my body can maintain its metabolic and electrolyte balance after recovering from a major drop in sodium post-surgery. You need to find a deeply resourced and inner settled place. Gratitude for all the support from friends, family, sangha have been amazing. Knowing none of us can do anything at all by ourselves, hoping to be able to help others as I have been helped. Offering prayers for recovery from knee surgery. May I have the support and resources I need. And may I care pod be, and may my care pod be resourced and supported as well. Offering prayers for many politicians who have lost their moral compass and are contributing to immense suffering in the U.S. and all over the globe. May they wake up and recover their humanity. May we all hold our hearts and spirits in solidarity with the healing of the planet, never giving up on that hope. Offering prayers for me and my sister, may we release the heartbreak between us and move into liberation together. Offering prayers for all beings everywhere without exception, may we all be free of all harm. Offering prayers for Susan and her healing from the recent death of her good friend, Kate. And may Kate have an excellent and swift rebirth. Offering prayers for my beloved, may they trust themselves, may they know how supported they are. Offering prayers for my beautiful nephew who is dealing with so many health issues. Offering prayers for self-understanding and love during so much confusion. Offering prayers of healing as this body so that it will serve to benefit this world. Offering prayers for Brian as he blooms into deeper trust, finding stable employment and intimate relationship with liberation. Offering prayers for Lori as she deals with her complex health issues. May she have clarity, healing, and good health. Offering prayers for the end of colonization, occupation, and imperialism. Offering prayers for my and my local Sangha siblings. May we choose to flow together as a river and all embodied eco-dharma. Offering prayers for Jose, who was a victim of racist insult 5 days ago on a T station. Offering prayers for CJ, who just finished their last round of intensive chemo for lymphoma. May their recovery be easeful and their follow-up scans be clear of all cancer. Offering prayers for myself that I pass my nurse practitioner exam tomorrow with ease. Offering prayers for my partner and their soon-to-be teenage child for their patience, resiliency, growth, skill, presence, and loving connection. Prayers for all systems of colonization and oppression. May all come home to our Buddha nature and open to doing the work of collective liberation together. May we have the courage to redistribute wealth and birth, freedom, and choice for all. Prayers for healing from the old flu, for strong inner and outer chi. Prayers for myself to find safety and guidance in this new spiritual journey through connection, liberation, and freedom. Offering prayers for the grief and clarity for my ex-partner suffering with pain. Offering prayers for Gaza, Rafa, and all those so lost in delusion that they wage this violence. Offering prayers for healing, courage, and compassion for all the young and suffering youth in this country. Offering prayers that my chronic pain heals if it's good meant to be, heals itself if it's meant to be. Prayers for my partner and his journey with nursing school. Prayers for my body and all those suffering from some sort of physical disability. Prayers for my cat, may he find his way through his emotional suffering and be at peace. Prayers that difficult situation with my grandmother's estate resolves quickly in a way that's best for everyone. Offering prayers for Matthias that passed away last week and for his family. Offering prayers for my protection. May I be protected. May my home be protected. May my beloveds be protected always. Offering prayers for myself that I may find clarity and comfort in the contradiction that surrounds me. We're offering prayers for the animals and being pushed out from their homes looking for some food and some rest. I offer prayers for my uncle, who's in the process of transitioning. And I continue to offer prayers for Daniel, that all of his legal situations are cleared. We continue to offer prayers for the abolishment of all systems of violence, the ending of all wars and genocides, for the quick resolve of all current genocides, including Palestine, Sudan, and Congo, and so forth. We continue to pray for the liberation of all beings. May we all be liberated. May we all remember our innate Buddha nature. May we all return back to our awakened state together and as quickly as possible. And so as we enter into the last just a few minutes of chanting. I just encourage you to imagine this radiance of Medicine Buddha arising in the places that we've been praying for, or in the lives of the people that we've been praying for. To allow, just imagine Medicine Buddha awakening for the people who are struggling for wellness and for sovereignty and for life, right? For the basic necessities of living, and allow Medicine Buddha to radiate these blessings, awakening this capacity for violence and hate and war and all of this just to be disrupted through the blessings of Medicine Buddha. Right. So returning back into the practice and into the mantra. O te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga te soa. Te anda begenze, begenze, ma begenze, rasu sumunga 마비근세 라스 수문가리 소와 대한다 베근세 베근세 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 마비근세 라스 수문가리 소와. And so as we prepare to transition out of the practice, I invite you to imagine that the rays, the radiance of Medicine Buddha begin to form a protection circle, like a shield of light around you. So as Medicine Buddha slowly begins to dissolve back into the nature of your own mind, Medicine Buddha's light begins to appear around you as a barrier, a light barrier of protection. And may this barrier protect you as you move through the labor of getting free and helping others get free. And when you're ready, just slowly beginning to reawaken your bodies. Taking a few deep breaths as we prepare to offer our last prayer, our Shantideva's prayer from the Bodhisattva's Way of Life found in your chat. We begin, we will recite this 3 times. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. And finally, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. And just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. All right. Thank you, everyone. We have our things up there. So visit my website, all this other stuff for whatever you need. I will be away for the next 2 Mondays as well. So, and thank you, everyone, for stepping up to help lead practices. And I suppose, I think Eric will be back at some point. I don't know. I forgot when he left. Um, I think that's all the announcements I have as well. Um, well, sign up for, we have our Tara course, my Tara, starting in March, which will be really fun. We're going to be working with sacred stones and herbal medicines, and some really fun expressions of Tara as well. So please sign up for that. And that will be every Sunday in March. We'll meet. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And I hope that you have everything that you need to continue to do the work that's necessary. All right.